Oh, thanks for joining. Good to see you. All the way from the Netherlands. This one's a little small. I realized I could pretty much go live at any time. Just a matter of turning it on while I'm sitting here, basically. No slippage. No slippage here. Could be deadly. Put a big scratch in it. So here's the 540 top glass, which is real glass. You get the nice gasket around the whole deal here. And then you remember the 528, well, instead of having that corner, you just angle that corner off, and then the post just matches up here along that. And then the glass is secured in nice heavy gasket material. It gets a little sticky, dusty, grimy. Take it and I shake them out. Probably could wash this too, but they take too long to dry. Okay, I just got here, but I'm leaving again. Sorry. We gotta go wash some glass off really quickly. You'll have to talk amongst yourselves. Good dog, good dog. Good afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving. The work must continue and the show must go on. I did find that bushing that I lost. how I operate. I allow the Atmos to operate themselves. John, you can't do that. That's what I mean, John, is you can't. You can't replace the 528 acrylic. Because it's a component of the way that the case actually comes together. I shouldn't say you can't. I'm sure there are ways you can make something, but kind of a lot of trouble and probably wouldn't work very well. But you see how the 540 has this glass, and they made them a little thicker too. But I suppose if you had something like this, a piece like this for yours, and then I would have to cut. No. Well, they'd have to be fastened. The corners would have to be fastened to this glass so that the case post can go through, and so it's kind of a funny way. Or if you had glass with the corners and the holes through them, custom made and cut up and stuff, then it would go, but John, if you want one with glass top, buy an Atmos 540. And get the Classique Elysee. I'm gonna buy an $8,000 reversal one of these days, and you'll call me crazy. Brand new. I can't resist. I know it's kind of something I can't really afford, but at the same time, it's a business expense, and it's such a beautiful watch. I can't resist. And I think it's appropriate that I have a nice looking reversal. Then I can flip it over and cover the crystal while I'm working. Protect it, don't bang it up. Now don't get in trouble at home now, guys, and grabbing your best dish towel from the kitchen if your spouses or whatever. You might get into trouble. These ones are specifically for the Atmos glass. I don't go and take her favorite towel out of the kitchen. Yeah, I had a client send me a 528 with the acrylic top, and he insisted I replace it glass. And when I said that I'm not able to do that, or didn't have, I guess, the interest or time to figure out how and come up with something that's probably going to have issues, he wanted the clock back. He didn't want me to service it at all. He was upset. So I sent it back. Did everybody have a nice Thanksgiving? I've been eating a lot the past few days. Eat, eat, eat. gotta do that now. Why did they make those acrylic top lucite perspex? I'm guessing is kind of like a plexiglass name. I think it was to well, for a couple of reasons. A, to prevent the tops from breaking in shipment, like the former models, and then B, they moved away from the lift-off cover, the lift-off case. And so with their new case design, they incorporated that top acrylic, or perspex as you have called it. They incorporated that into the design of the case with just a front pressed down panel. So those are kind of the reasons it went over to that. And that's because, you know, the tight fitting cases, often the minute hand was getting caught in the fourth wheel pivot or shaft, staff, broken. And then you'll see those that are kind of unfamiliar with Atmos saying that their minute hand has fallen off, which is really rare. They don't fall off, they break off from the fourth wheel pivot or staff. But once in a while, the client was right. It actually did fall off, or was taken off and never put back on. But the other 99% of the times when they say that the minute hand has fallen off, it is in fact broken off. And it's always on a 528-6 or a 519, something with a lift-off cover. Then you kind of know right away what's happening, what's going on. But get this all cleaned up here. But the neat thing about Jaeger-LeCoultre is they caught on that you like acrylic, or you like the glass better than the acrylic. So they went back to it here and made their front down, press down design, front panel, but with a real piece of glass in it. So they came back around for you and probably got the message that people like the glass better. And at the beginning I was showing this nice, heavy gasket here to protect it. And you don't want to get that twisted up in here, which is easy to do. Well, you know what? Before we do that, we'll put this back together real quick. Get this keeping time here for us. I don't need that. I need this. Yep, I went and got a Christmas tree yesterday. $45. Yeah, John, it's tough. Some clients kind of try to make it tough on me. Okay, they do it now, not anymore. Well, I'm pretty sure the 560, Mr. Rude, the 560 is similar to the 540, the new one they're making. I think those have a glass top in them too, if I'm not mistaken. I've only seen one of those for service. It was made in 2016. So they're not coming up for service quite yet. And if they are, maybe they're getting sent back to JLC instead. But in 10 years, I'm sure I'll see them. Yeah, we went with the 6 to 7 foot white pine, which have the longer needles, longer, softer needles. And they're some of the biggest trees in the forest when they grow to full stature, and they can be hundreds of years old. So I kind of admire the white pines. So we went with that one, but it's $45, you know, not cheap. And see how the components or the case posts have a little notch there. So rather than passing through the top piece, they're just shelving it here on this routered top piece here, or edge. This clock was made in 1989. Okay. Today I was kind of thinking we might do something a little bit different. Minnesota Golden Gophers football team's playing Wisconsin at 3. Should be a pretty good football game. I think I'm going to go watch that. But until then, maybe we can do some lost wax casting work. I wanted to show you this lizard that my dad cast. Kind of waiting for it to catch up here. You can see the scales right on his skin there. My dad made this one. It's my pet. There's mine. My dad's more into casting the organic material, like flowers and things that you kind of make one of a kind of. During college, I worked for the city of Bloomington, and I would go and mow the yards I worked for the utilities department, which is the water and sewer department, and I would mow the grass. Now, this was a good job, which it took a few years, to get up to. When I first started, I was literally cleaning out the sewer jetting with high pressure water. But after a few years, I, became dependable enough to gain kind of a nice lawn mowing job where I mowed the sewage lift stations, the yards and property management around those. There are these stations spread out around the city that pump that sewage along in case it has to go uphill or and whatnot, just to keep it moving. And it was, June at this location, and I was mowing the grass and noticed that the grass was full of these tiny little lizards, little baby lizards running around everywhere. And in Minnesota, we don't have many native lizards. There's literally only 3 native lizards, and 2 of them are what are called a skink, S-K-I-N-K, and these were blue-tailed skinks. I found 3 of them crawling in the grass, and I always like to catch everything and keep everything for a pet. So I caught 3 of them at the end of a day and put them in a water bottle and brought them home and put them into a big tank environment enclosure I made for them. And when I dumped those 3 of them inside of there, I never saw 3 again. Not long after, looking around, it was only 1, and this was him. And when I caught it, it was about the size of his tail, like an inch long. But this was the one that survived and was a pet for a long time. And when he passed away, this is the position that he died in, underneath the rock or log I had in there for him. And my dad decided to sprue it up and cast it out of silver, out of sterling. And it turned out really good because you can see all the detail of his scales and even his little toes and things. And he's always into casting organic matter. I like to make molds of things that I can reproduce. So that's the story behind this. This guy's kind of an inspiration to me. He's my lucky charm. But on that note, I have some molds that I've made here. One's for my dad and one's for me. And we could play around with this stuff today for a little bit if you guys are interested. And here's one I need to make some wax molds for him to cast. He wants to do a little acorn casting. And mine is a wristwatch case. So I might be able to make a little wristwatch out of a cast case, which is not the way that they're made today. They're milled out of a block of metal. So this might be kind of a more difficult process to make, but if I do, I think it'd be kind of neat. It's our wax cooker. Kind of stinks up the house. here's some of my watch blanks. This one's didn't turn out the greatest. There's a little flow problem on the edge there by where the crown and stem will go through. Okay, David, I have a video how to line up the hands on the Atmos clock. I can't remember I have one called Atmos clock hands not tracking, and that's when you spin your minute hand and your hours not even engaging or following at all. And then I have another how to realign the Atmos clock hands, I believe it's called, and they're both very short videos. But I have one showing how to get those lined back up. The hour hand's just to press on. You can move that either direction. Your minute hand's the one that you want to go clockwise only, so point that to a 12 solid hour marker, and then just nudge your hour hand over to a solid hour marker like 3 p.m. and then from there use the minute hand to engage both of them. If the hour hand's not engaging, then you'll have to watch that other video I show how to get that to engage. Heats up pretty fast. let's see what we got going here. If it's been warmed up enough here, hot enough. Turn the pressure down low so I don't make too much of a mess. Needs to be higher. Try our first one like that. Now with this one I was going to try another experiment here. Plug that outlet here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Dr. Holman, huh? Dr. Holman, the medicine man. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. Wow. It's a little bit tacky. It's too early, but I don't want to make you sit here too bored. The acorn that grows into the mighty oak tree. It turned out good. For the wax, you know, and then you have to do it all again with metal. It looks pretty good. All right, let's see how my watch looks here. Oh, that's it. Cool, that fixed it. All right. Wow. Okay, one of these bad ones here, I'll show you. Right there. Didn't fill. Looks a lot better. Okay, that's gonna work, I think. So these are all going to go back in the pot. See that? If at first you don't succeed, try again. Too soon, too soon. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. That's an hour. Yeah. We got something cooking, but it isn't mashed potatoes and gravy. Thanks for checking in and have a great weekend.